Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Commanders Countdown. Once again, another victory week, albeit it was against the Texans, who, if I'm being honest, look like a high school football team out there. So fortunately, yes, we did get the win, 23 to 10 over them. Um, Again, it was kind of a similar story with Heineke as last week. Didn't really play the greatest, but also, I guess, not awful. You know, he made plays when it was necessary, but he was 15 for 27, 191, no touchdowns, no
Yeah,
interceptions. So he needs to definitely improve his game. I'm obviously happy with the win, but there's a lot to still improve on with the team.
yeah. I mean, he one other thing worth mentioning on Taylor's game, he also didn't take any sacks, so did want
That's
to point
true.
that out as well. So, because I mean, obviously that was the thing that was happening with significant frequency when Carson was in there. I think he was sacked 23 times in 6 games.
Yeah, I know one game there was nine in the single
Nine,
game.
yeah,
So I think
yeah,
that was the game before he got injured.
yeah. That was the Eagles game.
I was
Yeah,
about to say benched, but I was like, oh no, he didn't get benched. He got injured. But although,
yeah, no,
actually, speaking of which, I can quickly go into that. It looks like Taylor is actually going to be the starter for the remainder of the
yeah,
season going forward, which is an interesting move. I mean, I like the move. I think if you see chemistry with a guy and the team's winning, you know, you stick with him. And I also
yeah. I mean,
recently heard,
he's what now 4-1 as a starter this season, so it's
yeah.
hard to deny that. I
Also,
mean,
like
even
I heard
though.
a stat about Joe Theismann in the Super Bowl, and he only threw for 143 yards, two picks, no touchdowns. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's like good play by any means, but I mean, we still won the Super Bowl with him back in the day with play like that. So it's not
I
impossible
mean,
if
you can win games that way. Like I was telling you about that stat. There's that stat that I saw that, Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers 10-2 in games where he doesn't throw a touchdown pass. So it's like it's crazy. But
yeah,
obviously with a good run game and strong defense, which you guys have had in recent weeks,
yeah,
it's possible
absolutely.
to win those games. And that's how you win playoff games too, running the ball and like playing good defense. So
Hmm.
that's what you need. I mean, all that flashy like, offensive shit, scoring 30 points a game is great, but like having a great defense and being able to run the ball and control the clock is what wins those games in January. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And the Eagles game was the perfect example of that. You know, the 40-minute plus time of possession to whatever I don't remember what they had exactly, but we had over 40
yeah,
minutes. That tells you enough right there. And I know this game that you said earlier, it was 35 minutes to 25 minutes. So we also
35
controlled.
minutes to 25 minutes, yeah, for this one. And then
Yeah.
for the second straight week, Washington running over 40 plus times and for over 150 yards. Gibson had 18 for 72. Robinson had 15 for 57. Curtis Samuel scoring the one rushing touchdown on a
Hmm.
beautiful trick play.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then just a couple other little carries from like Jahan, Taylor, and Terry.
Right.
Nothing really notable there. But yeah, 40 rush attempts, obviously controlling the clock and just really out physicaling the Texans. Obviously, they were really no match. In the receiving game, great to see Logan Thomas out there contributing again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Um,
say. It's really nice to see him at the top of the list there. I mean, usually
yeah,
it should be a receiver, but I'm happy to see him getting that
yeah,
that
he,
amount of
he had his
usage. And
best game of the season with 5 for 65. That's his best performance so far this year to
yeah,
date.
absolutely.
Terry had 4 for 55. Gibson, also contributing with 3 catches for 31. And then Jahan Dotson, second straight week with only 1 catch. Curtis Samuel only one, and Cam Sims with one. So, and that's fine. Like we discussed, they really didn't throw. I mean, Taylor only 191 passing yards, but
Hmm.
I mean, they won by 2 scores, so it wasn't a nail biter or anything.
Yeah, well, which it really shouldn't have been. I mean, the Texans
Yeah,
are
no,
literally the worst team in the league, like, and it's noticeable that they're the worst league and like worst team in the league. I literally felt like I'm watching high school football players at times.
they looked
I'm
pretty
like,
decent against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. That game went into halftime tied 14-14, and then obviously it ended 29-17. But it's like, all
yeah,
right, but they were hanging in there a while. But yeah, also notable the Washington defense coming up with 5 sacks. John Allen getting 2, Montez getting 2, Deron Payne getting 1. Cam Curl leading the charge with 7 tackles. Jamin Davis, another solid start with the green dot at the middle linebacker spot, filling in for Mr. The mullet, Mr. Cole Holcomb. So hopefully he's back soon. Obviously the safeties, as we've talked about, stepping up, playing great.
They're rated 1 and 2 in the league right now. And this reminded me about the defense. Right now, the Commanders are the only team in the NFL with 25 plus sacks, 80 plus QB hits, and 60 plus tackles for loss.
Yeah.
So
I saved that stat specifically to put up on the show as well. So I was like, yeah, we definitely.
And Washington's 6 takeaways the last 2 weeks is also number 1 in football. So the defense has clearly been winning us games, I would say.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that Taylor
and also worth mentioning, there was that huge pick 6. I mean, we got to bring that up too.
Oh, by Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller, right in the game.
That was nice. Yeah.
Derek Forrest also got a pick in that game. Joey Sly, another beautiful game, going 3 for 3, and making both of his extra points, scoring 11 points. So really, just a great team effort. Everybody playing well.
Well, I would say other than the passing game. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, like Taylor needs to play a little better. Like he just needs to do just a little better, I think, because to rely so heavily on the run game and the defense, I mean, that may not always work. He does seem to make the big plays when it counts. Throws the bomb down the field and it works. But like, I hope to see a little bit of improvement from him in the coming weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, you definitely would like to see that. I mean, as far on the Texans side of things, you guys really just shut them down. 16 carries, 21 yards. Rookie running back Damian Pierce, who I really like. I've been talking about this young man all season, singing his praises, and he's been good. He leads all rookies in rushing yards, 10 carries, 8 yards. So he got shut down.
Oof. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, but it is what it, Davis Mills getting the only Texan touchdown on a rushing touchdown. But obviously coming away with a rating of 46.2, QBR of 11. As far as receivers go, Brandon Cooks broke free for a couple of good ones. I mean, he had a long of 41, 3 catches, 70 yards.
Yeah.
But
him and Nico Collins were the only two that really did anything.
But they didn't really do anything with it. They made some big plays, but they often squandered the opportunities down there. So I mean, Texans doing what the Texans do. Obviously, we talked about this earlier in the show. It has been announced that they have gone, Houston, that is, as the they, pronouns and shit. But yeah, it's been announced that Houston has gone with former Washington quarterback Kyle Allen as their starter moving forward. So
good luck. Good luck with that, you guys.
Yeah,
I hope you have fun.
I'm sure
with
you guys all know how that went in the past. Kyle, one of the Ron Rivera favorites that I joked maybe is like Ron's long lost son-in-law because he stuck around way longer than he should have.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that was a great team win. Obviously, it would be great to see the passing game develop a little bit more. But I think that'll happen with time. One last thing I will mention about Taylor, as a comparison to Carson. I saw this stat, and I thought this was fascinating. 13 dropped passes with Carson Wentz in there, 0 with Taylor Heineke.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Not a single one that's dropped. Wow. Like, what?
What?
But you know what I think it is? I think because Carson, he does have a much stronger arm, and I feel like he's throwing like these laser bullet passes for like a 6-yard. Yeah, and it's like, bro, you need to tone it down a bit. So when he hasn't been as accurate in the last few years as he used to be.
Jimmy comes in there and
he's lasering it.
And he just beautifully lofts the ball.
Floats it in. Yeah, it's like Carson, he has the arm strength, and I appreciate his deep throw ability, but like, dude, he doesn't know how to tone it down at a short distance. And I think that's really what a big part of it was.
You know what would be good to do with him is like he's we'll mention this, Carson Wentz designated to return to practice. He's back. He's officially reactivated. But I'd like to see whenever they want to take a shot, maybe like line Taylor up as like a receiver or some really wacky shit. Like, did you see what Tampa did the other day where they had Tom Brady up as a receiver?
Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
And he trips.
Yeah.
It's like,
I saw the press conference and Tom was like, Lenny, no. That was hilarious. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah,
Oh,
like
also,
lineup.
Chase Young is also activated. I don't
Yeah.
think I mentioned that yet, which is
No.
definitely
No.
big news. I know everyone's been waiting for that for a goddamn year. Although the thing is with it, take it with a grain of salt. Yes, he's activated. Yes, he will probably play a few snaps. That's it. This next game he's gonna maybe get 8 snaps, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be minor. He's not gonna be at the force that he was. It's gonna take a few more games. So I'm glad he's back, but these people posting and expecting, oh, Chase is going to be back. We're going to dominate. It's like, bro, he's
Oh
just
wow.
getting back. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Well.
it's gonna be a slow return. Like,
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I think that he'll do some good things for sure, because I mean
I hope
he's
so.
he's a good player, but yeah, I mean he's going to get worked back into things, and obviously the defensive line has been playing very well,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
no need to rush him back unnecessarily, because things are
Yeah,
good. But he's been a great emotional leader on the sideline for
definitely,
these games, and that's you can't say enough about that. So you love to see it. Obviously, great to have him back.
definitely.
Great to have Carson back. I know he talked to the media. But yeah, what I was going to say is like I would love to see them bring both quarterbacks in for like some plays where like Taylor like runs some wildcat type shit or like runs a route, and like they just bring Carson in to like take a deep shot to the receiver. Just like
That'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, just
but
you don't run it a lot, but maybe like once every 3 games, you like have this package where it's like you need to take a deep shot, or
yeah,
if you ever need to like throw a Hail Mary at the end of a game, obviously you've got Carson, bring him in for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it might kind of hurt the chemistry going on with having Taylor in, but it might work in one play situation.
I mean, the Niners were doing that weird shit with Trey last year when we were just bringing Trey in for random packages. Remember that? Just
Hmm.
like be Jimmy all drive, and then all of a sudden Trey would just come
Well,
in, and it's like,
and it was Trey running the ball every time that they brought him in.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
But yeah,
I mean, it's why he's not active right now.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we got the Falcons coming up next. So after the
yeah,
brutal
don't,
Eagles game that everyone expected to lose, I'm sure if you're being honest, maybe not everybody, but most people. So
yeah,
we got the Falcons this week. Not as easy as the Texans, but definitely a
yeah.
team that we can beat. Get to 7-5. So I'm hoping for another win here.
I'm
I'm
just gonna
pretty.
say, don't sleep on the Falcons. Beat us 28-14. So
Oh, I know,
don't
I
sleep
know.
on
I'm
the
not sleeping
Falcons.
on them at all. It's not like I'm going into
Yeah,
this like the Texans game is probably the one game all season that I went into like pretty confident. I'm like, yeah, I mean, we
I
should win
know. I
this,
remember I texted you. I was like, damn it, bud. I was like, I wish we played the Texans this year. I
right?
was like, that's a guaranteed win.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the fact that it was only 23-10, like, I mean, I know people is like, oh, you're going to complain about a win. It's like, well, dude, if the team still needs to improve, it's not complaining about a
Yeah.
win. You're seeing the reality of the situation. They played an awful team, and at least it was 23-10, which is pretty
They are
good, but
running the shit out of the football though, which you love to see.
which is good because we
Which
need
you
to
love
with
to
Taylor in
see.
there. We got to have a good
Yeah.
run game to be able to be functional with Taylor in there because he can make throws at times, but he's not. He's no Mahomes. You can't go if we gotta start passing the ball every play, then it's probably not gonna go great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, fortunately, they haven't had to do that, and
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, obviously, they're getting everybody involved. It's been good to see. Total team wins, and the team has been playing energized football around Taylor,
thanks to
which
Taylor. Yep, that's the whole reason. Even
yeah,
Ron was like in the press conference, he's like, I don't get it, but like you can't say no
you
to
can't
winning.
deny it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can't deny it.
there's just something there. It's like an intangible thing with Taylor, which sounds so dumb to say because football is very analytical, and you can use
Yeah,
their stats. There's this and that, but there's just something with Taylor where it's like I don't know why, but and like he throws no touchdowns and an interception, and we're
yeah.
still like I just don't get it.
There's so many similarities between like him and Jimmy, just like as far as like how he's felt about like it's like okay, so you've got either half the fan base really loves him, or half the fan base is like, all right, this guy's limited as shit, and
Yeah,
like he's not the guy. Like we need to replace him ASAP. It's like both guys are like solid teammates, loved by the team. Like every single like person on the team like is
well,
just
and Jimmy's a better quarterback than Taylor. Like, come on, like that
yeah,
he's
yeah. I mean
I
that's
would
true, but
say
like I'm just saying like they have similar attributes. You know, it's like he's it's easy to root for a guy like that.
Yeah.
So you like to see him have success. You know, to go from living on his sister's couch just a couple years to like XFL starter to, you know, iced out on the plane, celebrating wins, potentially getting his team into the playoffs, one win away from matching their win total from last year, which they will get more than likely this week against the Falcons.
I'm expecting at least 8 or 9 wins, and that's conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could win more than that, but at least 8.
So we'll just close this out with like what you got. So here's what you guys got to do to beat the Falcons, and we'll just close this out after that. Falcons are going to try to do the same exact thing that you guys are going to do. They're going to try to run the ball. They got Cordero Patterson, they got Tyler Algier, and they got Huntley. They got the 3 backs. So they're going to be and then they got fucking Mariota. So they're going to be like, you know, read option, bullshit, read option. So like if Chase is going to be in there, you know, like they're going to be probably testing that edge because you know they're going to be trying to run to his side because he's.
I think Chase is mostly going to be kind of a non-factor in this game. We might see him come out for a few snaps, but I don't really think it's
downs
on
like known passing downs to rush the passer. We might see him.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I think it's more about just at least this game, it's to get him out there just to feel comfortable with the injury. Because the press conference I saw with Ron, he could see some hesitation with him still. So I think it's more of being comfortable with his knee than it is like because
getting back to playing at game speed. Because, like you said, it's been a year. So.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we're not going to see much of Chase. It's almost going to be like he's not really still playing because it's going to be a few snaps. He's probably going to be taking it easy. We're not going to see him. I mean, I hope to God we do. On the one of the few snaps he sacks the quarterback, that'd be amazing. But I'm not counting on that. You know what I mean? Maybe in a week, maybe a week or two. I know, right? That'd be great. I don't expect it, but I hope so. But maybe the
I just take him out of the game after that. I'd be like, all right, well, I've seen him.
He plays like 3 snaps and he gets a sack. It's like, all right, Chase, you're done. Cool. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah. I don't want to tempt fate here. But yeah. But I mean, the Falcons they're not going to scare you with the pass game. I mean, they got Drake London, top receiver taken at 8th overall. Yeah. But they just put Kyle Pitts, you know, their top tight end on IR with a torn MCL. I don't know if you saw that, but that's one thing you guys won't have to worry about.
That helps. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I know the Falcons shouldn't be, forgotten about, but I feel like given these things
is a factor. He's a dangerous player.
Yeah,
I mean, he caught a touchdown in the game against us, so like it didn't help.
Right.
But yeah, so that'll be one less thing to worry about. But obviously, they're going to try to keep the game out of Mariota's hands, but chance to go to 7-5, and obviously right now. Washington in the 8th spot for the NFC playoff race. So you guys have the, one of those wild card spots if the season ended today. So
yeah,
and you guys are right below Seattle. So at this point, since the Niners have taken the division lead over Seattle, it's now Seattle that's like right above. So
I don't have to pay. I don't have to like hope the Niners like lose or something, which I never.
So now you can just get on shitting on Seattle, just like everybody should. Everybody should just get on that.
Every time that happens, where like the Niners and us, like it starts to affect each other. I'm like, fuck. Like I don't want to have to hope they lose, but damn it, like.
Well, I mean, if fucking Jimmy Guapo keeps playing like this, I mean, it's never going to happen. We might not lose again this season, bud.
Hopefully, you guys just take the division, and then that's done. More wild card spots.
I mean, if you tell me that like the division's going to come down to Jimmy Garoppolo, Christian McCaffrey, Debo, and Kyle's Mind, or Eugene Smith, like I mean, okay, I've seen what Eugene Smith can do in the NFL before.
It probably would not be them, but. He's playing great.
He's playing great. He's playing great right now. Good. But
Geno Smith's the 7th best ranked QB in fantasy. Who the fuck would have ever imagined that? Like
I'm expecting the wheels to come off. Start him this week though against Vegas by all means.
Oh, I am. Trust me, I am. And it's funny because it's to beat you this week.
No, I mean, hopefully he doesn't have too good of a game.
Right. All right. Well,
it's pretty irrelevant anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of fucked at this point, but yeah, that's all we got for you this week. He's not happy about that one. So join us next week after we cover the Falcons game. Hopefully the sixth win out of the last 7 games, keep that streak, kind of streak going. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and join us next week.
Have a good night. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.